What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rockling Road Show. It is I, Alvie.
I am the 1-3, baby.
Coming to you live from the Casa de Alvie. Thank you for joining tonight. We have an awesome show for you. Hopefully you guys are in, sitting down. You got yourself a frosty beverage, a hot cocoa because of the little chilly out tonight. So whatever it is that you guys do to enjoy the show, we're happy to have you guys with us tonight. So
I know Garth probably has a
stogie going. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into the bills, so to speak.
Yeah, man.
So that we can jump into the show because we've got a lot of info to cover in tonight's show. So
all right, man. So as always, we're brought to you by Misfit Metalworks. Misfit Metalworks offers CNC, plasma cutting, welding, metal fabrication and prototyping services, as well as laser engraving. You can contact the Misfits for all your metal needs at 813-598-7409 or stop by the shop at 1913 East Bears Avenue, Unit 1100B, Tampa, Florida, 33613. Let them know the Rockling Road Show sent you.
Forgot I don't have my comments up, so let me pull that up real quick.
Oh, you don't have comments up?
Now I can see everything.
Neither do I.
Okay, there we go. And then we are also brought to you by Eric Warren Artistry Dropkick Customs. Eric Warren Artistry is a custom paint fabrication studio that specializes in turning your custom dreams into reality. EWA offers one-stop shop for all your paint, metal, fiberglass needs, welding, full powder coating, motorcycle stereo equipment, air ride systems, custom wheels, and as well as parts development with their Epic line. You can call Eric Warren Artistries 813-503-4764 or stop by the shop at 13215 North Nebraska Avenue, Suite A, Tampa, Florida, 33612. Let Eric or Nikki know that we sent you.
And Matt, too.
We're Matt, too. And
he's with Dropkick.
As far as I know, they're still looking for a painter. So if you know any established or good painters, please put them in touch with Eric.
Right on.
Also, we are brought to you by the Fran Hosh Law Group. Fran Hosh Law Group provides legal representation for victims of negligence. They handle a broad range of personal injury and wrongful death matters, including car and truck accidents, slip and fall injuries, motorcycle collisions, and much, much more.
Yep, so for all your legal needs, please contact Fran Hosh at 866-LAW-FRAN or visit lawfran.com. Or you can stop by the offices at 1275 Nebraska Avenue. That's in Palm Harbor, Florida, 34683. Bam.
All right. Connie says hi. Hey, Connie, thanks for joining. I know you've been... she's been living the rock star lifestyle with
man.
Miss Jasmine Kame. So Dan saying, howdy do. What's going on, Dan? Our brother from the UK. We appreciate you joining us. Sybil saying, hey. Hi, Sybil. Thanks for joining the show. Sybil and Steve over there. Garth Stogie is lit for sure. Evening, gentlemen. Good evening, sir. Easy with the gentlemen. I don't know.
That's kind of pushing a little bit.
That might be pushed there. And then Dan saying, "Hey," Dan Lindbergh saying, "Hey guys, what's going on, Dan?"
What's happening?
Alrighty. So now that we've got through some of those, let's go ahead, jump into the show. Let's have some fun. Like I said, we've got a lot of stuff for you. Carmela saying, "Hello, what is going on?"
You know there is
Mama Phil.
There is one quiz question.
There's a quiz question in here. It's just for bragging rights. We don't have anything to give away today, but. If somebody gets it right, then hell.
That'd be awesome.
That's going to be crazy. So anyhow, as you guys can see across the bottom there, Matt saying long time no see. I actually ran into my buddy Matt down in Marathon yesterday. Yeah, he flew in and he texted me. He's like, hey, what's good for dinner in Marathon? I'm like, are you here? He's like, what, you're there? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'll be there at 6. So we got together, had dinner last night.
Awesome, man. That's awesome.
It was good to see him. Hadn't seen him in a while, so. Connie saying, very busy, LOL. Yes, you have been very busy.
We know.
So as you guys can see here, winterizing your motorcycle. Tip number 1, right? We're going to give you guys a bunch of motorcycle storage, which some of this stuff, if you're going to be putting your bike away for any reason, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be for the winter, but any long-term storage, these are some things that you can do. And then the number 1 tip, of course, for winterizing your bike is move south. Just get the hell out of cold.
Yeah, man. If you have that white furry stuff that comes out of the sky, you need to go farther south.
You're in a bad spot because that's definitely going to hurt you there. Kevin saying hi, Alvie. Love you. It's Mint. Oh, it's my sister-in-law.
Hi. How you doing?
Hello.
So.
Hiya.
Hi. Hello. Hiya.
So number 1 tip. get the hell out of Dodge. Get the hell out of the Great White North, right?
Yeah, move to Florida.
So there you go.
Any southern state.
Yeah, anything south of Mason-Dixon really is, I guess. You probably need to go a little further than that.
I know. Stay out of the ice too.
You get a little bit of snow up there too.
Woo.
Yeah. So anyhow, so we'll go through some of our some tips from help from Harley Davidson themselves.
Actually, yes, that's where I got some of this stuff.
Yeah. So let's rock and roll. Let's get on it. So.
Yeah. All right. So it is for the northern people a time-honored tradition to winterize your ride. For those that don't want to deal with the hassle or the work of doing it yourself, and wow, what happened there?
It screwed up.
I told you it was going to be messed up.
But hey,
technical difficulties.
It wouldn't be the Rockling Road Show if it was done right.
Yeah. So anyway, a lot of people like to do this work themselves, but if you don't want to do it for some reason or another, go to Harley and Harley Davidson. Oh, there's a lot of dealerships. I'm sure even the metric dealerships do it as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
But they'll winterize and store your bike safe and sound until spring. All right. Now, you're looking at about $320, somewhere around there, for that to happen. There's other options where you get different payment plans for those to pay as it goes, whatever. But so the riders for the winter months this time, man, I'm having issues with this. I get it because I'm looking at my screen. I'm looking over here, so I'm not even looking at you guys.
I'll put it on that.
Put it up there. That way I can. It's good though. All right. So the winter months at the time to make enhancements on your bike.
Yeah.
If you want to do something to it, you keep it at your house. You winterize it there, and you put add-ons. Whether you want to put new bars, lighting. You want to do the upgrade to the heads. If not, if you don't want to do all that, just drop it off. Get it done there, man. But if you enjoy the ritual and you want to go along, do it yourself. We got some more tips for you right now. That's what Alvie's going to do.
Dan jumping in, had the bike valet and winterized, too cold for the season. Yeah, it sucks. I don't envy anybody who lives up north or where it gets cold. We get to ride all year round. So
yeah.
Garth saying exactly. Move south. What's winterizing? I agree. Kim jumping in. That's a pretty Christmas tree. It is. It's very nice.
Gee, I wonder who did that Christmas tree.
Yeah. Dan, wow, $300 for valet from Harley Davidson. Dan, what did you pay to get yours done? That'd be a good comparison.
Or did you do it yourself?
Or true? No, he said he had somebody do it.
He had it valeted. Okay.
Yeah. Sybil, yes, it's Kimbers, and then Matt joining. Hey, Merry Christmas, Matt. Thanks for joining the show, man. We love having you.
Yep.
So here's some tips for winterizing your bike. All the fluids, right? Change all your fluids. Oil, the hydraulics, clutch, brake, coolant, everything. Why? All these fluids contain contaminants, right? Just from regular usage. Your oil is going to have metal in it from just engine wear. Your clutch is also going to probably have some metal flakes and stuff like that in it. So just before you go and put it away, drain all that shit out of it and replace it with good, clean fluid. The other one is brake fluid absorbs water. And you should be changing that every 2 years.
Well, DOT 4 does anyway.
Yeah, DOT 4. But yeah, so you definitely want to get all your fluids changed. Get some good stuff in there. Make sure you use a battery tender. Now this for me is a all the time thing.
Yes.
When I come home, bike gets parked, it gets plugged into the tender.
Absolutely. And even though I ride every day,
yeah,
at night I'll plug it in.
Yeah, you plug it in all the time.
It's a habit.
Clean the electrodes, right? Clean the terminals, clean all that stuff. Hook a battery tender up or a trickle charger and just leave it on for the entire winter. It's not going to hurt the bike at all. It's not going to hurt the battery. And like we said, you should probably be doing this anyways. This isn't something that you should just do for the winter or for long storage. While we're on the topic of batteries, have a spare key fob ready to go.
Yes.
Because little do you know that little battery inside your key fob, especially for the Harley guys, I think some Indians have key fobs now, but that fob is trying to talk to the bike all the time.
Right.
So it's just going to keep wearing down that battery, wearing the battery. So, either have a spare fob somewhere away from the bike, or just have a battery ready to go in the spring, because It's happened. I mean, hell, it's even happened to me. After the bike sitting, for a couple of months, you go and get on the bike to leave, and you turn the thing, and nothing starts.
Then you're trying to figure out.
Yeah, you're trying to remember what pin number you gave the damn bike, right?
That happened like a year ago, didn't it? You and I were riding, and
yeah, we
Bob
were
was dead.
Yeah, we were in St. Pete, and we were at the bike fest out in St. Pete, and we were at the hotel. It was a few years back, but we were at the hotel and went out and jumped on the bike and turned the ignition, and nothing. I was like, oh shit. But then I realized, oh, it's just a battery, so I had to run up to CVS or something.
Right. You just got a battery.
Because it's just a weird little watch battery.
And you know what's a mess is that when right after that, mine did the same thing, and I didn't know the codes. I had to literally go get a new battery before so I could put the codes in.
Yeah, luckily I remembered the code, so I just rode the bike up to the CVS and it was fine. But I'll tell you, here's a tip for anybody out there, right? Take your phone and go to your note section in your phone and write down that code to that. Yeah, because if you don't, you'll forget it. I guarantee that you'll forget it because you never use it. It's kind of like I look at it like your passwords, because now especially on iPhone, right? Everything is done with your face. So you're just used to looking at your phone and it opens up your bank and it opens up whatever.
Yep.
And then you have to go to a computer to do it, and it's like, oh shit, I don't remember what my password is. I can't do this. So, Jen, hey, you misfits, looking good. Yeah, I know. It's just this wasn't even planned. It just kind of worked out that way. But but hey, we're representing the misfits because we are misfits ourselves. So,
That's a fact.
Garth saying tender is a must. So yeah, I mean. Like I said, mine's hooked up to it at all times.
Yeah, my wife's as well. So we have 2 bikes, 2 tenders.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that sucks, man.
Yeah, right. You got 2 of everything, right? Patrick Largos saying hello. What's going on, Pat?
Hey, Pat.
Dan, remember the overriding code for the bike in case the key. Yeah, like we were saying, just put that in your phone and you're good to go. Save the code sequence. I've got it saved on mine. Kim, or ask the girlfriend for the spare key. That works too.
Yes.
That works too.
Hey, can you come bring me my key?
Because I don't remember my code.
Yeah.
Marcella's saying misfits rule. They do.
Yes.
We do.
We do.
We all do. But no, the misfits who bend metal are even better. So.
Yeah, we actually are utilizing a product they did.
We
for
most
us
certainly
today.
are.
So anyway, on to the next thing is check your tires, man. Check the wear. What just happened?
You're just getting an update.
Oh, okay. It shouldn't be auto. So, check the wear on your tires. Make sure they have enough tread. Check the inflation. Make sure you're at the right pressures. You want to go by what's on your VIN. Whatever you got, whatever they say, that's what you want to do.
So this is something I didn't know till today. I was not aware that on the VIN label on your bike on a Harley,
That's where your tire
has your tire pressures.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Did you run out and look?
No, I haven't even
did.
looked. I need to go look. Is it on there?
I did.
Yeah, because I just go online. I pull the manual off the
I was
internet.
like,
and
son of a bitch.
But that's awesome because every time I go to put air in the damn tires, I'm like, what's the damn pressure I got to put? Because I can never remember.
I know.
But that's phenomenal. I had no idea that was there. But yeah, anyways. Sorry to interrupt, but
No, that's fine. Another thing you can do is you can put your bike on front and rear stands or a lift.
Mm-hmm.
You can put it up on a jack somehow for the entire winter. I have, of course, I'm not going to winterize my bike because
Mm-hmm.
I ride it every day, but I do have one of those roll under hydraulic jacks that you can lift, pump it up, brings it up off the ground, strap it down. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
I had my wife's bike on that for about a month. We're doing some work on it and rear tire on some other stuff that needed to be done. So it's really cool. But if you don't use a lift, make sure that you are moving your bike so that you don't get flat spots on the bottom, of your tires.
Right.
And stuff. You don't want that to happen. So then you'll be going down a road and going, and you think it's the road or something.
yeah.
There's another thing, and I really didn't think about this.
I didn't either.
But prevent rust by washing, waxing, and scrubbing, and then drying really good.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll help keep everything clean and make sure the rust does not come in. When you wax leave the wax on it.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave it. Just wax everything. Treat your paint. Treat your chrome. But use a leather treatment, not wax. Use a leather treatment on your, any leathers you might have, bags or what have you, vinyl stuff. It doesn't, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
For the bikes with the chains, you want to wax and lube your chain. So put the wax on it, take all the wax back off, lube the chain really well. This goes for dirt bikes as well, any bikes, so. But every 500 miles of street riding and every 200 miles of off-road riding, you should be followed with a cleaning and waxing and lubricating of your chain.
Yeah, and any of this stuff too that we're talking about, where you got to do stuff to your bike, fluids, all that stuff. Follow your manuals,
Yeah.
Find a video on the internet, whatever. But do everything in accordance to your manuals.
What the hell?
Clicky.
I clicked remind me later, and it did this crap.
Just close that window. All right. So
sorry, people.
The other thing is if you're not on a chain, you're on a belt-driven bike. Inspect the belt. You don't need to do as much maintenance on a belt-driven bike as you do a chain, but just make sure that it's good. The tension on it is good. Inspect both sides. Make
Right.
sure that there's no cracks, no chips, cuts. It's not fraying. You're not missing any teeth. You're not seeing any of the. You're not seeing anything bad on that thing.
Right.
What brand? 1-3. What brand lift recommend?
The one that I have is it's an older one. It's a Sears Craftsman one. That's the one I have. I'll see if I can find a picture and I'll put it on our page.
Perfect.
But it's a pretty decent little lift.
And then this one, it's funny, as a pilot, you think I would have thought of this because we cover holes in the airplane, right?
Yes, you do.
But I never thought, and again, it's because I don't winterize a bike, so this is something that I've never had to do. But prep the exhaust, right? Living animals and living things want to get inside of holes, right? They want to make homes and nests and all that stuff. So you can buy plugs for your exhaust pipes. Some people will put plastic bags around it, like
right.
zip tie a plastic bag or rubber band a plastic bag around it. Whatever you want to do, I would recommend getting something made for it. Plastic bag, an animal can chew through the bag and stuff like that, or you could have some problems
they
with.
degrade after time
Right.
as well.
But you can go on to, I'm sure you can go on to Amazon or Revzilla or one of those places and pick up an exhaust plug for, nothing, pennies on the dollar.
Right.
HD saying I'm late. What's up? Not much. We're just talking about winterizing bikes, HD. Thanks for joining.
You're
Welcome
good,
back. Phil, missing teeth. LOL. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different kind of missing teeth, but
Not
yeah,
up there.
not in the grill area. And then we kind of touched on this already, but store it on a center stand if possible, or on a jack, right? So just again, keeping those wheels off the ground. And if you can't do that, then just make sure that you're moving. The other thing to think about when you put it on a lift is you're kind of giving the suspension a break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From just kind of sitting and supporting the bike, the weight of the bike the whole time. So
Absolutely.
So yeah.
So there's more. We've got
Yeah.
more tips. Use the correct cover. All right. A lot of people try to use like a plastic cover. It's not the best choice for a motorcycle. It will trap moisture, cause corrosion, mold gets up under there. You can get an affordable, breathable cover.
Mm-hmm.
For a few bucks, $50, $60, $100,
Yeah.
depends. But it's worth it in the long run. Saves you a lot of headaches. You want to definitely store your bike in a well-ventilated area, somewhere where it's hopefully indoors. And you don't have to, this way air will circulate
Mm-hmm.
around it. You won't have any moisture collecting. Just make sure there's no fertilizer or chemicals around, since your bike can end up corroding your motorcycle. If you have a pool and you store your bike in a shed, don't put it near the chlorine.
Yeah, don't put it next to the chlorine.
The chlorine would be a bad spot for
That's
it.
true. HD saying we're in Florida. LOL. Agreed. We do have a few folks that watch that aren't from here too. So this is just kind of a little bit of info for everybody.
Right.
Dan, I will get to Florida one way or another to meet you guys and do a collab.
That would be awesome.
I can't wait.
Have you right here.
We'll have some fun with that. And then Connie's saying, and beers with me.
Well, beers with all of us.
Put the carpet down for the bike too. Keep the tires warm. That's an interesting one. Never would have thought of that.
Didn't think about that, but you know what? That
cold,
would also.
cold concrete,
Yeah.
especially up north. Yeah, you get the slab kind of.
Who mentioned
freezes.
that one?
That was from Dan as
Dan.
well.
Well,
He's up there, so he deals with cold. So
right on, man. There's some common mistakes that are made when you're winterizing. And
Yes.
This is a big one here, because a lot of people when they winterize, they start their bike.
Mm-hmm.
You start it every month or every week or whatever. You start it up. It's not good because you're not going to get the bike up to running temperature, and it's just water is gonna condense and end up in places where it doesn't belong. And when you ride the bike, moisture gets cooked off and your battery receives a recharge. But in this case, you're just starting it, you're running a little bit, you're warming it up, but you're not bringing it up to operating temp.
Yeah, you're not bringing it because you're not bringing it out of idle, so it's never
No.
going to get warm enough to really
No.
be worth it. So you're better off just leaving it off. It's not going to hurt it. It's not going to hurt it at all. Here's another one. I don't know if people would do this or not, but I don't think I would. I would have never done this in the beginning in the first place. But don't drain your gas tank. Leave the gas in your tank. As a matter of fact, take it and fill it fill it all the way up because if you have air in the tank, because you can't. I mean, I'm not going to say that you can't completely drain a fuel tank because you can, but generally speaking, you're going to have some fluid in there, and then that fluid is going to condense. You're going to get water. You're going to get condensation. You're going to get all kinds of other shit that goes along. You're going to get corrosion inside the tank. Your seals are going to get all dried out. Everything's it's just fill it up, put some good fuel additive in it, let it sit, and it'll be way better for your bike than draining it. Dan, battery keeper, yep, absolutely.
Right. Why would you put stabilizer in it?
So it's keeping all of the fuel can crystallize over time. So all that stabilizer and fuel additive is going to help do that. And eventually, because what'll happen is you're going to end up with clogged carburetors or fuel injectors, all that stuff. So
you're not letting it like what's that when it turns to that brown stuff, man. That's
sludge.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Not. You see it a lot in old gas, and you get that nasty smell.
Oh yeah. Like it's just
That's
so what that is. That's actually like bacteria almost. They're organisms. We deal with it in jet fuel too.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's bad because you get jet fuel that sits in those giant tanks for months.
Right.
You try and cycle it as best you can, but yeah, you get a lot of
and that wasn't honest question.
microorganisms and stuff like that in it. But yeah, if you just keep a fuel tank in, full tank and fuel additive, you should be good to go.
Awesome.
Carmela's saying keeping all these tips for my Softail. Perfect. I'm glad that somebody can use this stuff.
And you'll be able to go back and watch the show if you missed it.
Yep. Mom saying good night, boys. Good night, Mom. Thanks for joining. Dan again, fuel stabilizer. Dan saying the trick with the carpet is that when the tires are in a very cold stone floor, the pressure in the tires goes down. So by having it sit on the carpet, it prevents deflation of air from the wheels. So there you go.
Very cool.
Okay, and then this one was an interesting one. Don't cancel your motorcycle insurance.
Okay. Why? No, hold on. I mean, I know why.
Right.
Because I read the damn thing.
Right.
But me personally, I would have thought, you know what? I'm not using it for a couple months. I'm going to save me some money.
Yep.
That's it's like $200, $300.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a couple of things there. So one is you're going to get a warm winter day somewhere along the line, and you're going to want to go out on the bike because for some reason you get a weird 60-degree day in the middle of January.
It has happened.
Up north. No, sorry guys. Up north, you're going to get a weird 60-degree day, and yeah, so you're going to want to take the bike out. The other one is, hey man, just because it's cold out, just because it's wintertime, doesn't mean the guys that wear ski masks and steal your shit aren't stealing your shit. right?
Oh, they're just doing it now. They have an excuse to wear a ski mask.
Yeah. So now, but the National Institute of Crime Bureau, or the National Insurance Crime Bureau, sorry, reports that 25% of bike thefts occur during the winter. So a quarter of the bikes stolen a year are done in the wintertime. So.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, they're
you basically
put away.
and you get 4 seasons, so they're stealing bikes all the time, so it doesn't change.
So is it like 25% each season?
Yeah, probably right. Probably not, but I'd imagine it's probably less during the riding months because the bike is out more. Right.
But it could be, hey, that bike's right there. I can grab that bike.
And then of course, the reason you have insurance, not only is it for theft, but it's also for damages, right? Something unplanned happens to the bike. So significant winter storm, a tree falls through your house and lands on the, through the garage or through the shed or whatever it is, lands on the bike. A fire, you could have a fire. So you gotta think about this. Some of that stuff would be covered in your homeowners. We were just talking about it before the show. Yeah, you might be able to get contents out of it because you have contents in your homeowners, but some homeowners don't include sheds as part of contents. Some of them don't include the garage. They only include living, stuff that's inside of your living area, your living space, your living square footage that they consider your contents.
Unless you're like some people and put your bike in the house.
People do that too.
There are people that do that.
So so just consult with your homeowner's policy to make sure that if you have a bike inside of your garage, does your homeowners cover any kind of theft or damages or anything like that. And then lastly, and this is something to really think about, some states have a requirement that you have to have insurance to have a valid registration on that vehicle.
Right, so it has to be a continuous...
Yeah, so you have to have insurance coverage on it at all times, regardless of whether you're riding it or not. And actually, the cost of canceling your insurance, going down to the DMV, renewing your registration, repurchasing insurance, things like that is going to outweigh the amount of money that you're actually saving anyhow. So, so there you go. But really, after it's all said and done, if you live in a winter climate, you're going to have to winterize your bike, and you're going to have to store your bike. Luckily, storing your bike and getting it prepped for the winter is incredibly easy. There's not much to it. Anybody can really do it after you read a manual or an article, just watch some YouTube videos, come back and watch this video. And then lastly, if you don't want to do it, there's people out there that'll do it for you.
Yeah, for a nominal fee.
Yeah, and they'll even store it for you. They'll do everything. You don't even you just take it, drop it off, and you're done. So, so there you have it. That is the Rockling Road Show's winterization of bikes, courtesy of Harley Davidson. So, so thanks to Harley for giving us all those awesome tips.
I'm gonna try something, so hopefully it doesn't mess us up.
Let's see, what do we got here? HD saying varnish.
Varnish, that's the word I was looking for.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Jim.
There's Dan again. Dan saying varnish.
Thanks, yeah.
TMI, bro. 25% of seasons are winter. That is absolutely correct, Dan. That's what we
took us a minute. Well, unless you're in Florida.
Yeah, which is Kim's comment. She
50%.
says 7% of.
Oh, 7%?
7% is winter here, which is probably a very accurate
probably
number.
A truer statement.
And then Dan saying, I've read a review about the airspace ventilation tent for a motorcycle from Harley Davidson, and it's flawed with it streaming up and creating water droplets on the bike and been the culprit for causing potential corrosion of metal parts. Don't use a Harley Davidson air tent for winter, as it's not effective for what you end up paying. Interesting.
You know what? I've seen those air tents.
Yeah.
The bubble basically with the air that circulates a fan. Now that fan's running every day.
Right.
7 days, 365. Well, not 365, but I mean
whatever months, right?
120 days.
Sure.
Maybe, whatever. And that, I can see it. I can see the condensation building because it's in cold. But what if it's in a garage that's a climate controlled, garage? And this question is to Dan, because if it's in a climate controlled space, and it's basically just meant to keep the dust off. Inside the garage won't condensate, so it should just be as a dust cover.
I'm looking at it going, if you're inside of a climate controlled garage, then what the hell do you need a air tent for?
Dust.
Gotcha.
Some people want to keep, because I have seen people store their bikes because they'll put it in. Actually, I know a guy right now, Dan, and not this Dan, but another Dan, and he's got 2 Harleys. They're not. One of them doesn't run, and I'm like, well, why don't you ride the other one? Yeah. So he has them both stored in his garage. It's like, dude, but he's always out there cleaning it and polishing it, trying to get rid of the dust. We have a lot of dust here in Florida, especially Central Florida, Tampa area. Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable how much dust is in this place.
Yeah, no doubt. So, HD saying Florida seasons Christmas and summer.
True.
It's so true. It is very true. Sissy, what's going on? Welcome back.
Gosh.
Busy baking cookies. So just jumped on to say hi. Well, make me some and send us some because we love Christmas cookies.
Sugar cookies or I really want some apples.
Let me tell you,
Connie makes these apple things.
My mom makes for Christmas. She makes Mexican wedding cakes.
Right,
dude, I love those things. Those little I don't know what shortbread cookies with the powdered sugar. Thanks, Sissy. You just took us on a tangent here.
No, I'm going to do something because a tradition in my house is my grandmother started it. She used to make shortbread cookies, like the real Scottish shortbread. Mm-hmm. Nice thick. Love shortbread. As Dan will know. She'd make that, Empire biscuits, mm-hmm. and currant cake. Okay. So this has been passed down to my mom, then my sister. Now my daughters are starting to do it. So that's cool. I have shortbread at the house, and I have Empire biscuits. They don't make the currant cake, which I like, but nobody else eats it.
Yeah.
So one of the things.
Dan saying never was a fan of covers in a garage that's climate controlled. It's okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. I mean, dust is dust. I mean, I don't know.
Some people just don't like the dust.
No, I get it. But
look, my bike's dirty.
Yeah, mine's too. Like I try to keep it clean, but yeah. Connie, I'm on a break waiting for the second round of shows with Jasmine.
Gonna make some cookies.
Going to make some cookies.
Apple pies for me.
Apple pies for Bobby. And then Dan, working and listening to engineers here, they say it's overkill for the bikes, and they literally sweat their bolts off. So an engineer would say just use an electric space heater. You would have to keep your feet warm. You would have to keep your feet warm and have it sit just under the bike. A fan can be used, but would be fine. Just set a certain distance from the bike to keep it and sensitive elements all dry.
How the heck can you see those little tiny words, man?
Dude, I'm a pilot. I'm supposed to have good eyes. I'm a pilot. I can fly.
I'm a pilot.
All right, so there you have it, guys. Winterization of your bikes.
So you're saying I wouldn't pass? No.
Well, no, because you can fly with contacts and glasses and everything else. But all right, so let's go ahead and jump in. That took about as long as I thought it was going to take, so we're right on time. We're doing good. Okay, so the next thing, I found this article I don't want to say a few months ago. It's probably a few weeks ago. And I've been wanting to slide this into the show, and every time I want to bring it in, we find something better to talk about, I guess. I don't want to say better, but we find some other things to talk about. So I finally decided, you know what, we're going to put it in the show tonight. And we're gonna go with it. So as you can see there, we're gonna talk about the kind of import or the port over of adaptive and smart cruise control to motorcycles.
Yep.
And AI motorcycle safety.
Yep. And with all the new safety technology in cars today, it only makes sense that the motorcycle industry, we move that and adopt some of the technology from cars. Just hey, let's bring it in. Let's do it on the bikes. It makes sense.
Yep.
So here's the question.
This is the quiz.
Here's the quiz.
We'll ask it and we'll let it happen. We'll ask both questions at the same time.
Okay. So does anyone know what year the first car with adapted cruise control came out? Okay. That's the first question. Bonus points if you know what the make and model of the car is.
Yeah, so while we're waiting to see if anybody knows the answer to that, it's interesting because you would think that this would just be a natural port over, right? That you would get a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, you would get some of this stuff, some of the technology coming over from cars into motorcycles. There's a lot of issues, and we'll talk about some of those. There's a lot of issues with cars and bikes are vastly different, obviously,
yes, they are.
right? And you can have certain things in a car that make sense. You put them on a bike, and you create more of a problem, right? You create more of an issue.
Well,
safety wise,
it did take them a long time to put. What happened?
You're fine.
Oh, I gotta leave it like that.
No.
It took them a long time to put ABS on bikes.
Yes.
They had to develop a thing, and like I said, I still don't even know really how to ride correctly with ABS brakes. I don't.
Honda self-balancing rider, step in the right direction for future. I agree. HD UGG, Daniel, 1980 cruise control was made, I think. So you're probably right on the 80, but when was the first, and we're just going to go with it, but we're talking about adaptive cruise control. So you being able to set the cruise control and it speeds up and slows down based on the traffic in front of you, right? Kim's saying a Lincoln, not quite. I think it's a little bit older than a Lincoln. Well, I guess Lincolns have been around for a while. But
we used to have a 64 Lincoln.
Yeah.
With the suicide doors. We had that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wish I still had it.
HD, it's a pain in the ass for techs. I would imagine that it is. Okay, so what's the answer?
So anyway, 1994 is the year that the adaptive cruise control came out. Okay? Now, the car that it came out on was a Mitsubishi Diamante. Or Diamante.
I don't even know what that is.
I do.
Do you really?
I've seen this car. It's a sedan. It's pretty cool. But it's Mitsubishi. I never really liked it.
Yeah.
It's a little three diamonds.
It's a Hyundai.
Whatever.
It's all owned by the same company.
So why did it take 25 years for this to get to motorcycles? There's a few technical and ergonomic challenges, as well as some motorcyclists view that it's I can't even say these words. Technological nanny. It's like, hey, it's a nanny.
Yeah, it's doing
it's a babysitter.
It's doing work for you, right?
Right, and I mean, what's my ideas on this? What's going to happen, and as well as other people, is you're going to start relying too much on it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get more complacent.
Sure.
Many people out there are turning both throttle and braking over to an onboard computer, but I don't think that's such a good idea. For the first time, motorcycle manufacturers are asking you to do just that.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I don't want to do it. I would much rather. I like the cruise control, standard cruise control. Yeah, but if I see I'm coming up on somebody, slow it down, take it off. But I just can't.
I will say though, and you can back me on this if you want, but this past week when we did that ride, that last mile ride,
yes,
I really wish I had adaptive cruise control on my motorcycle.
You know what? On that one, yeah.
For what it's worth, just the back and the forth of the back, like it would have been awesome to have it on that ride.
Then you would have just set it and forget it. But I can see that. But I think for some people it's going to be too much. You're going to see more accidents than not.
It's possible.
Now, my mom, who has a Subaru, and I have a Subaru, but we're a Subaru family. She has the adaptive cruise control in her car. I do not have it in mine. I think she has a Legacy, and I have the Outback. It's cool.
I love it. I have it in my truck, and I love it.
She sits there and she'll drive with it. And she says, "Yeah, watch this," and she does.
Yeah.
It'll go right up to the car. That car in front of her comes to a stop sign. Her car stops.
Yeah.
And she never touches the brakes.
It takes a little while to get used to, but I love it. I set my cruise and I have my foot.
The Ford have it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I have my foot not on the brake, not resting on, but just there, just in case. But it's phenomenal. Like if you're riding, if you're driving and a car because you can set the distance that you want it to keep.
Oh yeah.
But it'll if you set it and a car manages to get inside of that, cuts in, it'll put the brakes on, slow down, and get the interval on that next car. I love it. I use it all the time.
Well, it's kind of cool.
And it for what it's worth, it makes that drive, that commute,
right,
a little easier because you're a little more relaxed in it. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit too. But before we jump, we're going to take some. So Dan was saying he had a 77 Lincoln MK4 with cruise control back in 77. So
yeah,
there you go. HD, I think is dangerous. Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough for motorcycles.
Yes.
Fair enough. And then Patrick saying, I like cruise control, but that's as far as I like to go with letting it be automated. Again,
on a bike.
Yeah, and again, I can agree, but there are times, and we'll, as we go here, by the time we finish this, I think some of you guys will change the way you look at it, maybe. Maybe not. But
here, we'll go back. In October, Ducati announced that its 2021 V4S model would come with adaptive cruise control. A week later, BMW announced that the feature will be available on its upcoming R1 250 RT. So there's two bikes, but they're both Ducati and BMW. Yep. They're all European bikes, so
yeah, and
it hasn't made it to the American market yet.
The thing, scroll down real quick because I don't know if I included this in or not. Maybe not. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, go back up. That's fine. So we'll talk about that here in a second. But riders that choose to buy one of these bikes is going to be able to let the motorcycle using an onboard computer and using forward-facing radar to speed up and slow down to match the flow of traffic. Again, when we were on that ride, it would have been phenomenal to have, right?
Yeah, but here I'm gonna put my 2 cents in on this. You have motorcycles that are staggered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you're putting it on the one obviously farther in front of you,
sure.
Right, directly in front of you, not the one staggered.
Right.
To your left. Which one is the bike going to pick
up? That's interesting because I don't know.
Slides a little bit. Riding in a group of people, I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna want to go faster or slower depending on where that sensor range is and what's there.
Good point.
In a staggered position.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, if you're using it in regular traffic.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I didn't think, and I don't know. That's a good question because I don't know which one it would register on. If it registers on the one closest to you, as far as just in the stagger or not, or if it, I don't know. That's a good question though. But as you might imagine, and as many of you guys have said here, making that technology jump from an automobile to a motorcycle isn't easy, right? So there's a couple of things that they're dealing with. One is the hardware is tricky. It's bulky. It's hard to fit on the handlebar because it's not just, you got to add a computer. You've got to add a radar sensor. You got to add a bunch of different things. So it's bulky. Making the controls so you can operate with gloves on. Sure, some like the Harleys are great. The cruisers, right?
Right.
They're great with the hand controls because you can manipulate and change your radio and do whatever you got to do with gloves on too, so it works. Now, big bulky winter gloves, it gets a little bit more challenging, but these are some things.
But it works because I do it.
Right. Now, here's what I think a lot of you guys are thinking. Riders, we don't have seatbelts. We don't have a way to keep ourselves attached to the vehicle that we're driving, right? So a computer controlling how fast and slow you're going to go, it can't disrupt the balance of the bike. It can't disrupt the balance or the momentum of that bike too much because it could end catastrophically, right? Especially in a turn.
Yeah.
If you're in a turn and it starts slowing down and it throws the balance, you could screw yourself really bad, right? And probably the biggest challenge of bringing this technology to motorcycles are us.
Yeah.
You guys, right? And what do I mean by that? The last thing many of us as riders want to do is give up control to a computer.
Yeah.
Right? we enjoy the challenges of riding a motorcycle.
Yes.
Right? It's fun. It's why we ride motorcycles. And then, like I was saying earlier, right? Commuting in a car sucks. Everybody's got to do it. It's a chore, right? So the simple outsourcing of the controls of speed and distance between cars, it's a welcomed luxury in a vehicle, in an automobile, right? But motorcyclists, many of us, we think riding in traffic is fun. You know?
I don't mind it so much.
Going in and out of not that we're being assholes about it, but you can manage to get yourself a little further along in a motorcycle than you can if you were in your car.
Correct. And I wouldn't say that it's exactly fun going over the Howard Franklin.
But there are certain aspects, right? Certain aspects.
And here I'm looking at Daniel's thing, and I'm sorry, I'm going to read his. It's over here. But the more tech stuff you put on of any size, eventually, unless you're a tech person, it's going to be a pain. The mercy of a breakdown, recovery vehicle where there's a simple thing you could normally fix or change yourself. Now you have to let someone pick up the bike.
Yeah.
And or vehicle, and I got to see more, but it's not going to let me
hook up a laptop, tools, all the other stuff. So
I see
perfect.
It. Yeah.
Let's see. HD saying don't use it in a pack. I didn't think about it. One3 brought that up. Daniel saying I'm all for adaptive cruise control. So they say I'm one of those too. I'm kind of okay with it in certain situations. But yeah, so it makes sense, right? That Ducati, who is owned by Audi,
right,
and BMW would try to do this, right? They sell more cars than they sell motorcycles. So it makes sense that these companies would try and bring that technology over to motorcycles. So
sure.
Stated earlier, there's a bunch of major issues. Here are some of these issues of porting all this stuff over to a bike. We made some stuff. Here's going to break it down. I'll let One3 break it down a little bit easier, or a little bit further.
Yeah. So while many car systems work in stop and go traffic, this just isn't feasible on a motorcycle for two reasons. One, no automatic transmissions. We have to shift gears.
Yep.
I take that back. There are some bikes that are automatics, but the majority of them, they're not.
Yep.
So that's one. The next one is balance. We all, you don't want to be in a turn and all of a sudden it slow down on you. Hey, because there are those curves out there. I mean, ask Patrick. There are those turns out there.
Yep.
But the system could cause the bike to stall and even fall over if the technology were allowed to bring them to a complete stop. Which, and like I was telling you about my mom, she'll follow a car and just leave her foot off the gas just to do it. I'm like, no, I wouldn't do that. But Ducati and BMW systems are designed for use only at speeds above 20 miles per hour. All right, using buttons on the left hand grip, the riders can choose a desired speed up to 100 miles per hour to follow in a distance. Now that's 100 miles an hour, but you have to remember, they're on the Autobahn.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
yeah.
So we don't do that here in the States. They do that over there. What happens if the motorcycle is following, suddenly slows down and the cruise can't maintain safe following distance?
Right. That's the biggest fear, right? Is that, like I was saying, in my truck, right? If a car comes in between the truck brakes aggressively, right? You don't want that on a motorcycle.
No.
Right?
You're not going to be ready sometimes.
Right. No. So.
Well, you better be ready.
You've got to be ready. But what this system does is it kind of here's a great example. So in my truck, if I'm driving along, even if I don't have the cruise control on, if I'm driving along and there's a car in front of me that either slows down too much or is taking too long to turn off the road or whatever, I'll get a pre-collision alert on my truck. It beeps like crazy. Everything flashes on the dash. And it's like, hey, dummy, you're about to hit somebody.
No.
This is what this system kind of does.
Okay.
So instead of aggressively braking or trying to slow the bike down, it literally just says, flashes, take over, I can't do this. And it lets the rider take control of the cruise control of the bike so that they can do what they need to do.
So in other words, you're telling me it's useless and we got to do it anyway.
Right, well, it's
right there.
But here's
that
the thing.
Right there.
Here's
because
the thing.
that's going to happen more than not.
But here's the thing. In what we have to understand for right now, adaptive cruise control is not automatic emergency braking. It is not a pre-collision warning. All it is to maintain a speed in relation to the traffic in front of you, right? So it's been available to cars for centuries. Well, no, for decades.
Okay.
That's the word I was looking for.
Woo!
Centuries.
Hundreds.
Yeah,
Let's
because
see. Wow.
the
Car's only been around
Model
for-
A's been maybe what 19 maybe
Yeah, cars have been around since the 1800s.
18 something.
Mercedes.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, Freudian slip, I guess. I don't know. It's not the right word for it. But anyways, but yeah. So it's been around for years. It's gonna come to motorcycles. It will, whether you want it or not, whether you're gonna use it or not. I think that we see this being thrown onto motorcycles.
Right. Now I was kind of when I got my Road Glide, I was happy it had cruise control. I was
love
oh my gosh, my wrist won't hurt so much anymore. I'm glad it does. But you're still aware. You're aware of the traffic. You're aware of everything that's going on because your cruise control can only do so much.
Correct.
And I just don't see the adaptive being that beneficial
Okay.
because you have to be aware no matter what. I see a car wanting to come in and squeeze in, I'm going to back off myself anyway.
Sure. Well, you're going to do that. You're going to do that anyways. But if you're
So then why would you have the adaptive? I mean, other than it going, like this.
well, I mean, and that's look here. That's what you got to. That's what you got to think about because we're not. You use cruise control, and outside of the other day when we were riding the group, you could be on I-4, you can be on 75 or whatever, and you're using the cruise control, and I guarantee you're hitting the brake to turn it off because the car in front of you slowed down, or you're trying to click coast so it'll slow down a little bit, and then you're like, oh shit, now I got to speed it back up, and you're
I've done that.
You're screwing with it, right?
Yes.
So, but let's take you screwing with it and just give it to a computer and let it do it for you. Because even if you're on cruise control and a car cuts in front of you, you're going to brake anyways, whether or not it's on automatic or not. You're going to do it anyways.
Right.
But and here's my final statement on this. Ducati, they've come out and they say, look, this is an adaptive cruise control system. And it's a convenience system. It is not a safety system.
Right.
It was never made to be a safety system. This is made to make your ride or your commute a little more comfortable. The radar system only recognizes vehicles traveling in the same lane and in the same direction. They will not brake, and it will not respond at all if a car comes across a vehicle and stops in your path. So again, it is a convenience and it is a luxury type situation. It is not a safety system put onto the car, put onto the bike. Dan saying Mercedes has it, and it's also terrible, as it was tested and failed in blind car crash tests. Interesting. Back to the drawing board. Yep. Until everybody has the ACC, then this issue will not be.
What's that acronym?
Yeah, what does that ACC stand for? But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting deal, and I'm gonna piggyback on that to a safety system that is designed for motorcycles using AI. A company by the name of Ride Vision, they're out of Israel. They have started developing an AI-driven safety system that's supposed to help prevent
adaptive. The thing we're talking about.
The thing we're talking about. Thanks, Dan. Nobody said we were smart guys. Yeah, so before we jump into that, but yeah, you're right. Until everybody has it, I think you're just gonna fight. You're gonna fight it, right? Because it goes across the board with all this technology, right? It goes with self-driving vehicles. It goes, all that stuff is included in that. Ride Vision, they again, they're trying to develop a system to help prevent motorcycle collisions. They've raised $10 million in a crowdfunding process to bring the idea to reality. Basically, really super quick, it's a blind spot monitoring system for a motorcycle, which I think is amazing. It uses computer vision, LiDAR, radar to figure out what's around you. It analyzes the traffic around the rider at real time, and it provides a couple of things. It provides forward collision alerts, so it'll like I was saying, like my truck does, right? It monitors your blind spots.
Okay.
It'll warn you if you're following too closely to the vehicle in front of you, and then also coming soon, if something were to happen badly, if you were to crash or anything like that, it will make an emergency call to the emergency services for you.
Kind of like OnStar.
Very similar to OnStar, right? And then really the hardware for this system is pretty straightforward. 2 wide-angle cameras, one on the front and rear of the motorcycle. Alert indicators in your mirrors, like your car does.
Right.
Okay. And then it's a main computer that does all the computing for you.
So now you can't really change your mirrors like some people like to get different mirrors.
Right, you would have whatever the system mirrors are. So so there's things there, and you might have to deal with stuff there. But I think that this is a cool system to that's coming about.
Good night, Mr. Lindbergh. He's got to go to the airport tonight. He works out there.
See you, Dan. I got to run into you at some point out there.
Oh yeah.
Say happy birthday to Howie.
Howie, by the way, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, brother. But yeah, I think that this is amazing. Having a system, because
this I would like better than the ACC.
I like it too, and it's not I think for us in general, half helmet guys, we don't really have that many blind spots.
No.
Full face helmet guys have blind spots like crazy. So this is something I think that I can't wait to see it come out, and wait to see the iterations of this and how it changes over the years, because this is a system that I think would help a lot of people.
A friend of mine, Paul, he just installed a forward-facing and a rear-facing camera on his Street Glide.
Did he really?
And it works off of satellite navigation and all kinds of crazy things, and it's always recording.
Mm-hmm.
Digitally records, and so it's always recording front and rear. And if you, let's say I want to video the next 30 minutes of riding, push a button, and it videos until you turn it off. So you can do like ride the dragon, mountains, whatever you want to do. You can also pick the camera. So I want it front or rear, or it'll do both.
Yeah.
So it is kind of neat. I don't remember the brand name. I looked at it, but I wonder if that's similar to what these.
I would imagine. Yeah, I would imagine it's probably,
because that's the wide angle. It's not a big camera. It's only about that big.
Yeah.
Front and rear. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
It's a neat little system, and he hasn't had a chance to work on it.
To play with it. Yeah. No, that's cool. And I'd like to get a hold of that.
Actually, that's probably a good thing for next time.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Okay, we're gonna run through the last segment real quick, and then we'll call it night. So we're gonna run over 8 o'clock a little bit, but that's all right. Oh, real quick, back on the Ride Vision thing. Products are going to be available in Italy, Germany, Austria, Spain, France, Greece, Israel, and the UK in the early 21, and then in the U.S., Brazil, Canada, Australia, Japan, India, and China in the following, and others following later. So the first iteration of this will come out in 21. So very cool. Would like to see this. Dan, when GoPro goes in cars and bikes as standard, we are all set for insurance claims. I agree there, right? There's no bullshit at that point. I got it on camera, boss.
Yeah, it wasn't me, boss.
Yeah. So this is, I just ran through this real quick. There's not a whole lot of stuff here, but these were some cool gift ideas that I found online the other day. If you have a motorcycle rider in your family, or that you're buying Christmas gifts for, these are some of the gifts that me and the 1-3 found that we thought were pretty cool ideas. Some of them are, I think there's one, actually all of them are under $100. So not bad, right?
Not bad at all.
The first one I've got to get this. I want this. This is cool. It's a book titled Hell's Angels: A Strange and Terrible Saga. For 2 years, Hunter S. Thompson lived with the infamous Hell's Angels motorcycle.
Not according to the Hells Angels.
Oh, is that right? Is that right? So he wrote this book, Hell's Angels: A Strange and Terrible Saga, and it captures all and then some of his 2 years with the Angels.
Oh, this might not be him. No, I was thinking about the cop.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Because the cop that no cop has ever. According to Hells Angels.
Yeah. I just watched the show on that the other day.
Yeah.
America was going through some strange times in the 60s, and Thompson gives us a peek into one of its darkest corners with his usual brutal honesty, humor, and unbridled storytelling. You can get this book on Amazon for about $23. So I've got to check it out. That's one book. It's been out there forever, and I've always wanted to pick it up and read it. So I might just pick that up.
I can tell you, if you want to know anything about a biker club, you go talk to Farrell.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mr. Bernstein.
Yeah.
He is very knowledgeable in all the clubs.
He was around. I mean, he's around a lot of the Indian Larry and all those guys.
Yeah,
so
man.
He's been around for a long time.
He's a true New York biker, man.
Oh yeah, man. He's fun to talk to.
He is.
Go check out our interview with him. That's a hell of a time.
Good interview. So the next one is Crash Light, powered by Eat, Sleep, Ride.
I thought this was cool.
As you know, we always use protection, feeling alive when we ride motorcycles in the first place. So let's keep it that way. Crash Light automatically detects a motorcycle crash, shares your location, and you might consider buying a 12-month Crash Light feature-powered Eat, Sleep. What the heck is all that? Eat, Sleep, Ride, Motorcycle GPS. Okay.
So basically,
I didn't see this one.
So basically, it's a unit that you can buy. Actually, take that back. I think it's an app that you can put on your phone.
All right.
And what it does is it uses GPS, it uses accelerometers in your phone, so forth and so on, and basically can detect if you're in a motorcycle accident. If you're in a motorcycle accident, it will.
So if I drop my phone.
It won't do anything like that. It has to be at certain speeds and all that stuff. But it'll notify EMS, and it'll ping your location for anybody to find you.
That's awesome.
Just something I thought was cool. It's $21 for a year.
I thought about it. Thought about when I was reading it, and I'm sorry, I was reading this because I didn't see this one yet. But yeah, okay, might consider buying a 12-month plan.
Yeah.
That's where I would have put that in there. You're gonna drop your stuff.
Always, man.
All right, so the next thing.
I'll let you get it. Go.
Okay, anything you want to buy from UnitedAmericanVets.com. Freedom boxes, wall art, challenge coins, so much more.
Yeah, and I mean we have the wall art back at the 1-3
I was going to
bar.
turn around,
yeah,
but it's not here.
Yeah, love those guys up there. Veteran-owned company out of Jacksonville, Florida. You met them up in Adamak Harley Davidson.
Yep, and St. Augustine.
And yeah, just good. Got some EMS talking about the EMS. Dog's going crazy now.
Yeah.
There's Howie. Happy birthday, brother.
Hey man, happy birthday, Howie.
But yeah, really cool stuff. They have a lot of really good stuff out there.
Their freedom boxes, basically what that is what you can store things in.
Yeah.
You know, it uses fingerprint technology. It's pretty cool. So you got this one.
Kim, am I supposed to be taking notes? No, you're not. This is just some stuff that's out there. Cooper, stop, buddy.
The first one, yes, Kim.
Yeah, right. Her mom says, yes, you're supposed to be taking them. Connie saying Farrell's the best. 100% agree.
Absolutely.
Daniel, Sonny Barger is a popular man to chat about the club. Yeah, Sonny has definitely been around. Again, Howie's here. Happy birthday, brother.
Everybody that's on, tell Howie Taylor happy birthday.
Happy birthday, yep.
Tag him, Lincoln.
And Kim saying, I think Santa's outside. Yeah, he came in on the fire truck there. All right, and the last thing we've got is the Velo Machi Speedway Tool Roll. Things don't go as planned on your ride, and unlike a car, if your bike breaks down, you don't have four doors and a roof around you. So riders need tools to help get them on the road and get them going. So
Right.
this thing, I looked at it. It's kick-ass. It's about yay big, and it's just a roll. It's kind of like a knife. You ever seen like the chef knife kits where they come out and they
Yes.
roll them out and they
Yep.
have like all. It's exactly what it looks like, and it's got slots for wrenches and you name it, lights, anything. And you can put it in there. You roll it up and you throw it in your saddlebag, or you can put it on your sissy bar. It's got straps to do that with. Super cool. I thought it was really neat. But it's also weatherproof, so it'll keep everything dry and safe for holding all your basic
Well, that's
tools.
pretty cool, man.
Really neat. You can pick it up at Revzilla for $75.
Is it SAE or metric or both?
So if I'm not mistaken, I didn't really read into it totally. I think that it's just the bag. I don't think it comes.
Oh,
with
it doesn't
any
come with the tools.
I don't believe
Just
so.
the bag.
I think it's just the bag.
For $75, probably just the
I
bag.
think it's just the bag.
Because you're going to want to put good tools in
Yeah,
it.
but no, it's super cool. Like I said, not very big, not bulky at all, and you can get a good set of tools in there. So yeah, some cool stuff. Of course, you can always get in touch with our sponsors as well. Misfit Metalworks, they got all kinds of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
They've got obviously shirts and things like that, but they've got one of the things that they do that I still need to try and track one down, or not track one down, but get Marvin to make me one. Is they make some really kick-ass fire pits.
I actually have one. Yeah, I want one made too.
They've got some really cool stuff, but yeah, they've got they now have jewelry and all. Check them out if you guys want some fun stuff.
Laser engraving, they do all kinds
Go
of
check
stuff.
out the Misfits as well as
Eric
Warren. You can get a bunch of swag from Eric, and if you need some paint work done on your bikes or anything like that, man,
That's a great Christmas
that's a great
gift.
Christmas present.
You know, next time somebody needs some paint work done on their bike, 1-4. My bike's looking a little rough.
There you go. And then we'll end the show tonight with just your general events going on, right? Again, it's Christmas time. There's a couple. I think there might be 1 or 2 rides this weekend left for the last bit of Christmas toy drives, so forth and so on. If you can get out and you can do it, and again, this doesn't even have to be for motorcycle related stuff.
No.
If there's a food drive going on, if there's a toy drive going on, and you have the capability of doing it, get out and donate some stuff for kids, for needy kids, for moms, abused women with kids and stuff like that. Just get out there and help out any way that you can. It is the season of giving.
Anybody.
It is the season of giving. So get out there and do a little bit of giving, right? We could all use it. A lot of people could use it, especially this time of year, because of what has gone on this year. And then last but not least, it is with a heavy heart that we have to let everybody know that the Pinellas Bike Fest is now canceled. That event is not happening due to some unforeseen circumstances, we'll say.
Yeah.
That event had to be canceled. So sucks because I know Connie worked her butt off to get that whole thing set up. So stay tuned. Maybe it gets pushed somewhere down the line, and we do this thing, or maybe the venue has to change, or whatever the thing is. But again, Pinellas Bike Fest 2021 is no more on the dates that we.
Poor Connie.
Yeah, Connie's been busting her ass doing that. So
It's
it
okay.
sucks.
Makes us sad as well, Connie. And hey, maybe we should think of something else.
We'll figure something out. I know that we can figure that out. Let's see. Everybody's saying happy birthday to Howie. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Awesome.
it. HD saying great show, guys. Thanks, thanks, HD. Appreciate the
Garth.
kind words, man. Dan, all on suspension till further notice in the UK, but we'll still share any bike reviews or news that comes up. Appreciate it, Dan. Stay safe over there in the UK, brother.
Yeah, man.
Connie makes me sad. Agreed, makes me sad too, Connie. But again, we'll figure it out. That's what we always do. So, Garth saying great show. Stay safe all, and happy holidays. Sentiments exactly. Again, guys, being that next week is Christmas, we will not have a live show next week or the week after because of the New Year holiday as well.
Yep.
So we'll be taking 2 weeks off. We'll we might do a recorded show and just have something for you guys. We'll figure something out. But
I think we should do something.
yeah, we'll figure something out. But yeah, again, we will not have a live show until after the new year. So
Yeah, let's see. I get back from yeah. Okay, I can't say it.
okay. So yeah. So anyways, thanks again, guys, for hanging out with us tonight. A little overtime, but hey, that's all right. As many of you guys have said, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas
to you all. Happy New Year to you all as well. Hopefully the new year brings in some good stuff and gets rid of this shit that we've been dealing with this past year. So
That's really the bad stuff.
that's all we can hope for with a new year. Dan, and have a safe and happy new year as well. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it.
Amen.
Again, thank you guys. We love you. Thanks for hanging out with us.
All right.
It was fun tonight. It was
It was.
fun talking to everybody and getting everybody's opinion on all the stuff. Ken, hello.
Ken.
Bye-bye.
Why at the end of the show, Ken?
That's awesome.
Anyway, what's really funny is we were talking about you. We get you in Christmas gifts. Anything for Buy American Vets.
Absolutely. So, yeah.
So-
So check them out. Okay. With that, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We love you all. You guys keep it rocking.
Keep the rubber side down,
I almost
baby.
said your tagline, but anyways, we'll see you guys next year. Bye-bye.